As an artist, I think one of my greatest abilities is I get to help folks practice empathy. I feel like oftentimes when we approach difficult topics or situations, we try to explain why we believe our side is valid. For folks to understand empathy, sometimes we need to understand it from our heart instead of our head. And I think that spoken word in my art has really allowed me to do that, to begin conversations with our heart instead of trying to believe that logic can solve all of the issues or all the problems in this world.
Do you ever wonder where you come from? Do you find comfort in vague memories of Ellis Island? How many servings from the melting pot did it take for you to arrive at this conversation? Maybe you take pride in the Mayflower. Maybe you are an original American. Do you ever ask yourself, if the land we stand on today once belonged to someone else? Do you ever ask yourself, if maybe the land never belonged to any of us, and if instead we belong to the land?
I often have trouble expressing myself. I'm a very introverted person, so having my voice heard by other people is something that has been difficult for me. But very early on, I learned how to write. It was always something that I just kept to myself. And then my senior year of high school, we read this poem by a Hmong author, and it just resonated with me so much I could literally feel like a physical change in my body, like hearing myself read the poem. And my English teacher was very excited about this, and after class, he handed me a book of poems by a Minnesota poet by the name of Ed Buckley. I remember Googling Ed Buckley afterwards and finding these videos, like these spoken word videos, and it was the first time I had seen spoken word before. Seeing these other Asian American folks being so honest and ruthless even with their words and their ideas, I was like, this is exactly what I want to do.
I am one of 5 brothers. Sejeng, Lali, Wong, Meng, and then there's me, Kevin. And on most days, Kevin works just fine. However, if you ask my mother what my name is, like if I just dropped a plate while washing the dishes, like if I come home a few hours past curfew, like if I forgot to thaw the chicken like how I was asked to 4 hours ago, then my name quickly becomes Zo. And it is a beautiful name, given to me by my mother, suggested by my grandfather. In Hmong, it means fan, possibly an electric one, born on the south side of Minneapolis in June, in a house with only one dingy air conditioner, where we all crammed into one bedroom, shut all the doors and closed all the windows, where they called me Zo. In English, Zo means, can I call you Kevin instead?
Spoken word allowed me to better understand myself in so many different ways. I told myself that if I'm gonna be approaching an art form that is this powerful, I needed to take a deeper look at myself and create work that speaks to my truth. That for me was thinking more deeply about my Hmong-American experience. Whenever I practice my art form, it is so deeply rooted to the art form and the work of my ancestors. The way that we've kept our history alive has always been through art. Whether it be through the stories that we tell, whether it be through the clothes that we wear, the language that we speak.
My name is Kevin Yang. Kevin Sengya. I'm super excited to be here today. Former board member of HSA, so I know how important your work is. Graduate of Hamlin University, and it always makes me so happy to be in a room full of my people celebrating a new year.
I feel like I'm one of many types of storytellers in our community. I find myself oftentimes feeling like I'm in between. I think about my mother and father and my grandmother, folks who arrived in this country because of war. I think about my younger brother and the generations after me who are finding themselves more and more detached from the generations before them. And I find myself in the middle, sort of navigating both our experiences in interesting ways, doing my best to have these 2 generations speak to each other.
My grandmother sees the world in ways I'm still trying to comprehend. She measures the world in approximates, in pinches of salt, in handfuls of strawberries and bok choy hearts torn at the fingertips. She has never owned a calendar.
I think there's something powerful in recognizing my place, third place narratives of not saying I'm in between, Hmong-ness and in between Americanness, but really saying I'm in this third place where certain things only make sense to me, and this third space is just as valid as the spaces that we're perceived to be in between.